Hi guys, so welcome to our first video tutorial on Introduction to Data Analysis. Now you are in Pablo's Data Science channel, Python for Data Science. However, if you are new to Python, I'll suggest you check out the playlist on Introduction to Python. That Introduction to Python is for data science, and basically data analysis is one of the steps towards data science, right? So also in the channel you are also going to find a playlist for Introduction to Statistics with Python. So we're putting the roadmaps together: Python, statistics, and data analysis. Right, so this is the first channel, or rather this is the first video, so I'm just going to do an introduction. Again, I'll use like the basic search on Google or Google search to make my explanations. So they are pretty simple and intuitive. So what is data analysis? Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Google search on data analysis. And you're going to see this. So here we have, let me make this big enough. So you see that simple stuff. It's the process of systematically applying statistical and or logical techniques to describe and illustrate, condense, and recap and evaluate data. Well, what we're going to do basically is we are going to pick data and we're going to do these things to it. We are going to apply statistical techniques and logical techniques to describe and illustrate them. Now, the idea is for you to look at your data and be able to make decisions with them. To do that, we're going to write Python code. So we're going to do this data analysis with Python. And we are also going to look at, we're going to pick up data from one of the, what I call three major places or three major ways of collecting or gathering data. Now, there are three ways you can collect data. The first one is you can basically go to where data is stored, right, in various formats. For instance, you could go to Kaggle. You can see it over here. It's kaggle.com, and Kaggle has an area for data science, or rather for data sets. And these data sets are basically here. You can find any of these data here, and you can work with any of them. There is also a place called University. It's called UCI. Yes, University of California, Irvine. Here we are. Right, it has a machine learning repository with loads of data sets inside of it, and they are basically classified or categorized in different ways. And you can see there are types for multivariate analysis, which is multivariables, and of course the task is a classification task. This is a machine learning binary type machine learning model. So and then of course you can see the attributes here, the instances and all, and they also tell you the year it was created. So all this, I'm going to drop the links in the description, and so you can check them out. There are lots of places you can also, there are lots of places that could be. There's datahub.io. There are places you can pick up data in these repositories. Then you can also check out data by maybe requesting data from an API. One interesting way to request data is you could reach out to possibly Twitter, Facebook, Google, and they'll share their APIs for certain terms and conditions. And then finally you can build data from scratch, right? So for the most part, we'll be dealing with data stored in repositories, right? So depending on what we're going to be talking about, I'll probably download a certain data set. For instance, I could pick up this data set and then I could download it. You can basically go to the data folder and you can see the data over here. You see it? And I click on this and then I basically put it on my desktop. And so there I have that data. So we can use that for analysis. Or I could basically head over to this dataset area and search for a certain dataset I feel like working with. So there are lots of datasets. You can see there's graduation rates. You can see different datasets. You can see them. New York State Park History, Sites dataset. There's also the Titanic dataset, which is really, really interesting. We can also look at that if we're trying to work things out. So we can look at that. Of course, Titanic has certain competitions. So if you join the competition, not Titanic rather, Kaggle.com has the competition area. So you join the competitions, you can see, it gives you a sense of what data science is all about and how much, the premium to it. And so here is the Titanic data science or the machine learning from disaster competition, which helps you learn like basic stuff, right? So I joined this competition some 3-4 years ago, so I can always go over here and take the data set, and I think we'll be messing around with this data set too. So I could download that. You can see that train, boom, I have this. So we have data sets already. So so this is basically what we're going to be doing in this introductory part. I've already created the data analysis notebook. If I go over here, you can see my notebook is here. You can see over here I have learning Python for data science, statistics with Python. Learning Python for data science is already in the channel, so you can check it out. The notebook is here, so I already have this. Now, to make it really easy for me to work with, I'll basically copy my data sets. You can see over here, I can basically copy these two data sets, right? I'll have them copied, and then I'll look for how to have them shared, right? Over here, I take it basically to the directory I'll be working with. So here is the directory. I call it the data science channel. Where are you? Oh, here, there. And then here I paste. So now I have these two data sets here, and I'll be working with them. So by the time I get over here, you can see they're now here. So cool stuff. As a matter of fact, if you are using the Mac OS operating system, you can, because it is Linux based, or if you're also using Ubuntu, you can simply use the exclamation ls, and then when you run it, it's going to show you what you have here. So you can see that I have this. And so this, we'll be working with this, we'll be downloading data sets, and then we'll be analyzing them, and so that we can make sense of the different features of a data set. Also, we'll be using libraries and packages. One of the libraries we'll be using for the most part is pandas, so we'll be using the import statement to import pandas as PD, which is a very popular convention, and if there's need, we can also import numpy as np, the popular convention, and we'll run them. You could just basically see that they're here already. So you ready? Let's jump on this. We're going to use Python to learn data analysis, and from time to time we're going to be reverting to statistics. So that's why you would often have to go to the statistics playlist, the statistics with Python playlist, and look at a few statistical ideas, because remember, like we said here, like we saw here, we're going to be applying statistical techniques to analyzing data, right? So are you buzzing? I am buzzing. So what you should do is check out this channel if you haven't learned Python, and then you can pick up Python from scratch. And then you can always look over here if there are certain things you want to learn in your learning journey for data science, and you're trying to pick up these data analysis skills, which is pretty important for data science, right? So check out the channel, like it, and subscribe to it, so whenever I have new videos, you get an update, right? Then you can share it with your friends, share it with your enemies. It is important that everybody picks up data science skills, because data is so important in the 21st century.